what's going on YouTube? How you guys and gals doing? I'm doing pretty good. Anyways, right here in my hand I have some DVDs. Now the other day I was going through my movie collection and I thought to myself, I have to have a few health and fitness related movies that I can recommend to you, the audience. Now I'm a big movie buff. I like all types of movies. I love drama, comedy, independent, horror, etc, etc. But being a health and fitness related channel, I have some DVDs that are more geared towards that subject matter. So let's go ahead and get that started. So the first movie I have here is starring Arnold Schwarzenegger before the Terminator days, Pumping Iron. This is a documentary about Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to compete for his 6th Mr. Olympia. Now one thing I want to say about this movie is that if you're really into bodybuilding and you're looking for some extra types of tips, you're not really going to get it in this movie. It's more for entertainment purposes, but it's pretty entertaining. There are some good outtakes. There's even one outtake of Arnold Schwarzenegger smoking some weed and he's all like high and stuff, so it's actually pretty funny. Is he a good governor? That's another story for my state, California, but I'll leave the political jabber for another day. Now the second movie I have right here is called Vision Quest, starring Matthew Modine. Now this is a wrestling movie. It follows the character of Loudon Swain, played by Matthew Modine, and he's a high school wrestler and he wrestles in the 190-pound weight class, I believe, and he wants to go down to 168 to go against a guy that's pretty much undefeated and unbeatable. So this movie probably isn't the most exciting for the mainstream audience, but a couple of you subscribers out there are wrestlers and I do recommend this movie. Now once again, this movie was made in the 80s. It's kind of cheesy. There are some scoring discrepancies during the matches, but overall if you look past that, it's actually a good movie and it gets you motivated. This guy cuts a lot of weight, and you know, wrestling is a sport that, you know, a lot of people don't know about and it's not really in the mainstream, so it's a good movie to pick up, Vision Quest. The next one, it's two movies actually, and it's based on Steve Prefontaine, who was a distance runner and Olympian in the 1972 Olympics in Munich, Germany. And unfortunately, he died, I think at the age of like 23 or 24 of a car accident, and he was great, is great, but could have been even better had he not passed away, unfortunately. So there's actually two sets of movies. One is the more mainstream one, and it's Prefontaine is played by what's his name? Jared Leto. This is a more popular one. And then that's called just Prefontaine. There's another one called Without Limits, and the actor is Billy Crudup. Now, if you're gonna watch one of these two movies, I actually recommend the one that's not as popular, Without Limits. This one's a little bit better than the one with Jared Leto, so definitely watch that. They're very both entertaining movies, and Steve Prefontaine, this guy, I mean, he's an inspiration to everybody. A lot of guys, when they run, they think about Steve Prefontaine because this guy had a lot of heart. He took 4th place at the 1972 Olympics, getting edged out for a bronze medal, but he had a lot of heart and soul, and that's why people love him. So be sure to check one or both of these. Next movie, it's a little bit more independent. This is a documentary style called Spirit of the Marathon. If you're ever thinking about running a marathon or you're not really sure what it entails, which is probably a lot of hard work, I've actually never ran one yet because of all my injuries. Hopefully one day I'll be able to complete one. But anyways, this movie follows the stories of about 6 different people that are going to run the marathon. 2 of them are elite athletes, and then 4 other stories or so are based on people that are basically everyday people and who just want to run the Chicago Marathon, and that was in 2006 or 2007. I don't have all the numbers in front of me because I haven't seen it in a while, but it's a really great movie, and it goes through the trials and tribulations of having to train for a marathon, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, running 15-20 miles on certain days, going through injuries. So it's a really good book. It's called Spirit of the Marathon once again. Moving right along, just got 2 more, guys, so bear with me. The next one is pretty popular. I'm sure you've seen it. I'll just recommend it. Super Size Me, documentary from Merton Spurlock. He was a winner of the Sundance Film Festival for this movie. The guy basically goes on an all McDonald's diet for 30 days and he wants to see what it does to his body. Now, real quick, some people say that what he did was, how do I put it, unrealistic, because not everybody eats McDonald's 3 times a day. That may be true, but I do know a lot of people who eat fast food at least once a day, and on their other meals, they probably don't eat as healthy. So it's not too far-fetched that this is a good wake-up call that if you do eat really bad, in the long run, it's gonna mess you up, because at the end of the experiment, I don't want to give too much away, but he gained a lot of weight. His blood pressure went up, his cholesterol went up, just pretty much anything that's not good for you went up, and all the good things went down. So check that out. And finally, last but not least, this one I highly, highly, highly recommend. It came out a few years ago. It's a documentary based on a true story. It's called Food Inc. Now, I don't want to give too much away on this movie because I do want you to definitely check this movie out. Basically, it goes behind the scenes into what actually is behind food that you eat. When you go to the supermarket, all you see is a nice pre-packaged TV dinner. It's got a nice little illustration. It looks all fancy. And it says all white meat on it, made with vegetables, blah, 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 vitamins. You open it up, you put it in, and it tastes so good, right? But then anytime you get like a TV dinner or something like that, and you turn it and look at the directions, look at all the ingredients that are in there. All this stuff, preservatives, additives that are not necessary. This movie here helps unveil some of the mystery that goes behind this whole food industry and how big corporations are taking over. So I do recommend this movie highly, Food Inc. One quick thing I want to say about this movie is that if you're planning on eating like a steak the following day or that night, and make sure you don't watch this movie before. Trust me, you're going to be a little grossed out because there's some scenes with animal cruelty. It's just very alarming, but I feel like everybody should definitely check it out. If you do have children, I don't know at what age would you show it to them. You'd probably want to watch it first as a parent to screen it, and then based on your judgment, show your kids this movie eventually. Alright, that about wraps it up. So let me know in the comment section what you think about these movies, if you have seen them already, or if you're planning on purchasing them, as well as if there are any other movies that you would recommend to me. Thank you everybody for watching my channel and my videos, and see you again next time. Bye.